Hello and welcome to this video. On this video, I'm going to be changing the radiator or coolant fluid on my 2000 ML320 Mercedes. We recently acquired this car and we want to change all the fluids out. We don't have good service records with it. We do know it was kept in pretty good condition, has about 150,000 miles on it. But in the meantime, we want to make sure we get everything done. So what I've done is gone to Mercedes and bought 1 gallon of their part number BQ103 0005 anti-corrosion antifreeze agent, and that'll mix 50-50 with distilled water. So I also have some distilled water. And in the back of the engine compartment, you can see where the reservoir is for the radiator coolant. So what I'll be doing is loosening the cap on that, and on the front left side, it'd be the passenger side front of the radiator, there's a drain cock. But if you can't get to it, like mine's not easy to get to because I have one of these bars on the front, then I'll probably take the hose off that's on the back side of that and let all the liquid out into a container, which will be recycled. Should have about 2 gallons or maybe a little more come out. So once I get that drained out, I'll come back and we'll talk about what we're going to do next. Okay, so what I did here is I created a aluminum catch funnel to make the water or radiator coolant come from the lower hose, which I've slightly disconnected from the radiator. That water is going into a catch bucket and I'm catching most of it. Some of it I'm not getting. The fluid's a bluish color, which tells me it's an aftermarket fluid and not the Mercedes original. Mercedes original should be an amber color with a slight pink tint to it. So what I'm going to do is catch all this fluid, and I might just flush the whole system with plain old water and do this a couple of times, let it flush out, and then just put all brand new Mercedes fluid back into it. And I might replace the hoses too. I'm going to take a look at those as well. So we'll be back later and I'll talk about what's going on. Okay, at this point I've drained the fluid. I was going to try to flush everything out, but I didn't. I looked up in the service records and they used the Xerox compatible fluid. I think it's G05. It's for Mercedes, but it's a different color. So I'm going to go ahead and convert back to the original Mercedes fluid, but the way I'm going to do it is like this. First of all, I was thinking about replacing the hoses today, and in order to really get to the hoses effectively, you have to take the serpentine belt off and the Visco fan clutch, because they didn't really design this model to be worked on so easily. And since it's about 100 degrees here in the Phoenix area at 60% humidity lately, I'm going to go ahead and order the hoses and do that later. In the meantime, what I'm going to do is put a half gallon of Mercedes fluid into the reservoir here, and then a half gallon of distilled water, and then see where the level comes up to. It should take about 2 gallons, and what I want to do is, at that point, mix the distilled water with the other half gallon of Mercedes-Benz antifreeze and add it until I'm at the cold level. Then I'll start the engine. There's an auxiliary pump over here, this electric pump. It's like on same as I had a 1985 Mercedes 123 turbo diesel, and these auxiliary pumps down here are to get coolant into the heater core in the wintertime. So what I'm going to do is turn the heater on full blast, squeeze the hoses, run the car, get all the bubbles out, and then top it up to the cold level, and then I'll be done. So that's all there is on this video today. Thank you for watching.